Hey, and thanks for joining us on CBR. At San Diego Comic-Con 24, Robert Downey Jr. has been announced to play one of Marvel's greatest villains, Dr. Victor Von Doom, better known as Dr. Doom. Iron Man himself is taking on a new role in the MCU for 2 upcoming Avengers films. While fans currently have more questions than answers, there are notable good and bad aspects to this decision. 2019's Avengers Endgame marked the last time that Robert Downey Jr. appeared on screen as part of the MCU. The movie provides a fitting send-off for his character, Tony Stark, who ultimately saves the day from Thanos' grasp at a hefty cost. With the actor's most iconic MCU role having arguably the most emotional ending for the entire franchise, it's a risky decision to bring the actor back at all. Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars will put Robert Downey Jr. to the test. Dr. Doom will either be viewed as a stunt casting gimmick to revitalize the MCU, it could have a more complex explanation that fits in the established lore. One possible justification for Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom casting is that a Tony Stark variant could become Doom. Although this subject has been broached in the comics and mind-swapping with other scenarios, the two characters have also appeared together as separate entities. Still, their backstories contain enough overlap to tinker with the formula. Another option is that Stark and Victor Von Doom have absolutely no connection whatsoever. The upcoming Fantastic Four, which has a confirmed Galactus presence, won't focus on Doom. It could very well turn out that Tony's backstory might be retconned to cross paths with Dr. Doom, but there are no apparent reasons why this might be necessary. If Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom has never crossed paths with Stark, then there's no need to even look under the mask. If this version of Dr. Doom already rules Latveria, then there's no need to receive a full backstory of the character that ever shows his face. A fully realized Doom will address how he came to hide his face under a mask, but Robert Downey Jr. could provide a performance that's akin to Tom Hardy's Bane in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. Since the MCU embellishes characters with prosthetics and CGI, it's also a strong possibility that Robert Downey Jr. will be rendered entirely unrecognizable once it's seen on screen. It would be reasonable to expect that Dr. Doom, even without a mask, will bear no resemblance to Tony Stark, and that even his voice could be characterized with its own idiosyncrasies, like a Latverian accent. The problem with bringing back Robert Downey Jr. arises when it means bringing a version of Tony Stark back. The character's sacrifice in Endgame was a major gut punch for audiences, but it was the right decision that allowed humanity and its defenders to continue in a Thanos-free world. If Tony Stark is back, then it only draws more attention to the fact that the MCU, like the comics, has trouble committing to any character deaths. Endgame's emotional impact might be undercut by Robert Downey Jr.'s return. Fans have also taken notice that bringing Robert Downey Jr. back at a time when the MCU is faced with the Jonathan Majors controversy and a spat of less well-received films, that this casting decision is a Hail Mary to restore the franchise to its former glory. Robert Downey Jr. is likely playing an entirely new character, but it's a calculated move to bring the franchise's biggest star in to correct 3+ years of mixed results. One question is whether Robert Downey Jr. should be cast as Dr. Doom. MCU and other Marvel-adjacent properties often found ways to recast actors whose initial appearances were undeserved by less than fantastic films. With a world of talent at their disposal, the MCU choosing to cast its most recognizable star again is a strange move and a bold gamble.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
With Robert Downey Jr.'s casting, many fans have been elated, but plenty others perceive the move as a tactless cash grab. Neither opinion indicates just how good the new Avengers films will be when they're released in 2026, 2027. Dr. Doom is one of the most well-known, fan-favorite villains. Legacy has never been properly captured on screen. Robert Downey Jr.'s casting could signal not just a new phase for the MCU, a soft reboot to the world that will introduce X-Men and the Fantastic Four, but a second wind that pulls back on the madness of variations and extraterrestrial locales. If Doom is handled right, then it doesn't matter who the man behind the mask is. What matters most is that the character is honored. It doesn't simply exist in the pattern of bigger and badder enemies. Let us know what you think about Marvel's surprise casting decision in the comments below. Thanks for joining us today at CBR. Until next time.